This is Cyberpunk 2077. Hello, Night City, and get ready for the next gen update to Cyberpunk on the Series S. So, what are we getting here? We're getting, well, a next gen update, but it's not necessarily quite as impressive as I was really hoping for this platform. At the same time, it is a big improvement to what this game has to offer, and I think that is great. So, unlike the Series X and the PS5, the Series S doesn't have really any graphics options aside from these basic choices that you can adjust. There's no visual setting that you can choose from. You're getting 1440p dynamic resolution scaling at 30 FPS, which is it's not ideal. So, yeah, it is next gen optimized. There is HDR support, but it feels like the Series S kind of got the short end here. The 30 FPS is just like, it runs a lot better. There's improvements, but you can definitely tell there's like world rendering things that kind of pop in here. Like, it is a significant upgrade if you are coming from the previous sort of version on the Series S, but at the same time, it's like, I feel that this console should have been able to achieve some level of 60 FPS, and it's a little... I'm hopeful that down the road they'll also, give this one a further update, but for now it's kind of like, you're probably used to it if you've been playing this on the Series S already, but if you were hoping for a higher frame rate, that isn't the case here. It's just that 1440p 30 FPS. So keep that in mind, but we are going to continue to talk about what Cyberpunk 2077 is, chat about this update, and generally what it brings. So I always thought that Cyberpunk ran fine on next-gen consoles, and actually, all things considered, on the Series S, it wasn't too bad. And it still isn't too bad. Like, it's still running smoothly, hitting those targets, the resolution quality is pretty good. It's just, obviously the frame rate is not really what I was hoping for with the proper next-gen update for this console. I'm going in loops, but I feel that they could do a little bit more with this one. And that is just kind of my thoughts on the presentation here. No forms of ray tracing are present, unlike the Series X and the PS5 version, again, have those ray tracing settings. So keep that in mind. And it almost feels like hyper, like, blurred or something. And I don't know if this is like FPS not fully hitting the mark, but it doesn't feel... Like, I've been playing a lot of this on the Series X here, so that I could get, like, a feel for it on that platform, and it just feels so... Like, that 30 FPS feels really slow, gameplay-wise. But yeah, so Cyberpunk is the Cyberpunk game of my dreams. It's a genre that I love and I think is really cool, and now I'd say it is actually kind of fully realized with this update. They've improved the traffic, they've improved the citizens, the amount of them and what they're doing, like the NPCs. They fixed numerous problems across the scope of the experience, and it's just a much, much better game now, which I think is exciting. It's what it should have released as about a year ago, which is, over a year ago, I guess you would say, which is semi-disappointing, but at the same time, it is great that we finally got the version that we were really hoping for. And even here on the Series S, you could tell just, like, hopefully, that the resolution quality is actually pretty good. It feels, you definitely feel that 30 FPS kind of cap, right? That's a big thing here. So it's got a lot of different cool areas you can visit. The story itself is pretty lengthy, especially for a shooter game. Like, it's an RPG, but it is a shooter at its heart. There's a pretty big map you kind of go through. It's got all these different areas. We're going to fast travel down to the main. Actually, we could probably drive down to the main area and kind of do that. Let's do that one, and then we'll do like a scenic drive through the neighborhood. That makes more sense. So then there's a lot of different skill trees, and they've reworked the skills a bit too, and you level up and improve your character, and then there's a journal with lots of info. You got the map with the different segments, this huge outback area, there's like the deep downtown sections. You got like inventory with different weapons. You can adjust your character in more ways now. You have custom apartments you can have. You can do crafting. There actually is a lot going on in this one, and a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see, in a very expansive world to visit. So we're not going to fast travel. But with that, that means we need to grab ourselves a vehicle. So let's grab the car, which also has had numerous fixes to it, driving and whatnot, so that has been improved. But yeah, great sense of scale now. You know, it's very clean, it's all running. And where is my car? There it is. Oh, I guess I'm climbing onto that thing, which is kind of neat. So Cyberpunk is a genre that is like a futuristic world where things are usually a little dystopian, a little messed up. And I think you can kind of see that that's present. This is like a really rundown part of town, so keep that in mind. There are a lot nicer areas you can visit that have that really clean sort of futuristic look. But everywhere in this world, it's all kind of messed up, and you know, that's just the cyberpunk aesthetic, is that it's you know, this is not a clean, great looking world. It's one that has become very desolate and whatnot. So I think the biggest thing here is, again, it also seems like maybe the traffic isn't quite as intense on this version, but the traffic is, it seems fixed in regards to prior, where traffic would like become invisible and stuff. And then it also seems like, well, not full necessarily density and stuff. We'll see when we get more into the downtown heart, the pure density of, like, you know, civilians walking around. But they have improved a lot of like pathing, like NPCs have different looks to them. They move around the city, and they, you know, they have their different things going on. It's not like they're doing like wild quests, but you know, some might be like, say, drinking a coffee or walking or chatting. And you know, to me, that those are some nice improvements to see, is the fact that there's actually like life in the city, and you know, some traffic density and stuff like that. Actual cars going around doing their stuff, they react to you now. I think that's really cool. But we should also talk a little bit about the actual story itself. So Cyberpunk 2077 is kind of this tale where you make your own V character, male, female. They have different elements to them, you know, and different characters that you can romance. There's actually some pretty decent romance, you know, subplots and stuff you can go through. You get paired up with this crazy AI thing in your head, and you're in like a race against the clock to kind of deal with this before, you know, you basically get shut down and die. So that's the gist of the story. You've got Keanu Reeves there as your, like, hey there, samurai kind of buddy kind of thing. And you're sort of just dealing with that. That's a lot of the story. There's lots of different quests, different intense action. There's a nice sense of maturity to the overall story plot. Like, this is a very, you know, kind of adult-focused game in terms of the violence. There's the sexual content. There's, you know, nudity. There's things like that. It definitely doesn't treat you as a child, and I appreciate that aspect of it, that it's actually kind of, you know, a mature narrative where it's got things going on. But you can see the world just looks like fantastic visually. I think it always did, but you know, now the city like really visually comes alive. It's got a nice, you know, aesthetic to it. I quite like that. I feel like, is the middle right over there? Sorry, I gotta like look at this. And there's different times of day, and there's different, oh, the middle's over that way. Okay, we'll go do the cyber psycho thing. But I wanted to go to the middle. That's where there's like a good density of like individuals you can go through. But we'll get a bit of combat going on, and then we'll make our way over there, because it's not a huge deal. But yeah, I like the story. I like the setup for what they have going on here. I think it is something that's actually worth playing, and now you can actually really properly enjoy what this game has to offer, and I think that's fantastic. Is this, can I not? I don't know, I feel like my jumping isn't as high for some reason. I don't know if other people have that. Like, they reset all the skills and everything, so they had to redo all the skill setups and handle that. But you can see it's like there's actually like pretty good density here. The character models, they look like they've got, you know, more detail to them and stuff. I really, again, wish that they could have achieved that actual like fluidity level I was hoping for. But they probably wanted it to look a lot better, was their main goal, was I guess you would say the visual presentation here. So hopefully down the road this can be a basis for them to maybe actually give us, you know, 60 FPS at some point. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Hello guys. Got other things to do, don't really want to fight the police too much. There's a cyber psycho on the loose, what can I say? Huh. Yeah, so combat's pretty neat. You get a bunch of different abilities, augmented things to deal with. It's quite interesting what you do and how you battle things. Oh, that guy just got messed up. Let's see, there's like some scanning things. Can we, oh, we can, okay. Let's see, 7A. I don't really see a 55 though, right? Yeah, I don't really have a 55. 70, 55, and I don't have a 1C. Failed. See, I wanted to like break him down, but I think the regen thing's not gonna. Yeah, it's recompiling. Oh, he's gotta die. Whoa, you are intense. But yeah, you know, I like blades, but for different enemies you can use different guns. I got this thing called like Clippy that I think it's Clippy or something. It's like making fun of. Or making fun of Clippy. It's just like a little gun that shoots things. Oh, we have to follow him. Alright, but I got, you know, you got a bunch of different weapons you get to use. This like wire thing's pretty fun. And I got like this gun that I kind of keep on. It shoots like, you know, lights people on fire, which is kind of cool. So you get lots of different weapons, and there's lots of different room for like, you know, customization, making whatever kind of character you want in this world, exploring it, battling against enemies. It's a lot of fun, and there really is a lot of value to have here. There's so many different things you can do and different things you can witness. It's an exciting world. It really is just a thrilling experience that you can have, you know, countless hours of gameplay out of, and I think that is just you know, a magical element of this one. There's just so much value here. Why am I dying? There we go. I must be getting like shot up by somebody that's actually kind of like intense or something like that. Usually I don't have these problems and I just like absolutely massacre my opponents, but I'm assuming they are shooting at me with something intense over there. Seems like snipers and whatnot. This guy's got like a huge buff here. Ugh. But if you've been waiting to play Cyberpunk, I do think that I can happily suggest that now is the time to take a look at it. You know, the bugs and stuff seem to have been cleared up. Everything seems to be running properly now, so this is really kind of what the launching point should have been, you know, just over a year ago. But, you know, I guess better late than never. And actually having an experience here that many people can hopefully, you know, kind of experience and have fun with, and really see what this world has to offer. Now, if it is possible, maybe like one of the higher end next gen consoles, you might be able to get that 60 FPS, and that would be even better. But you know what? This does seem to run fine. It does seem to look pretty good. You know, visually, it's quite nice. Message Regina. Okay, now I gotta like say hello. So there's like, you know, messaging and stuff you do between different characters. Oh, and they added a lot more of like, I guess you would say like romance type options and whatnot for integrating with, well, connecting with other characters, and I think that's kind of neat. Like there's a whole list of really big, great updates that they applied here to this game, and I think that is fantastic for me, just being able to really, you know, see this city almost like I really wanted to initially. What I saw and others didn't see, I think now, you know, other people can more easily appreciate what this game has to offer, the beauty of it, the style of it, the intense cyberpunk world that you can explore and get lost in. You know, I've played it multiple times. I reviewed it originally on the Stadia platform, you know, the stream service with the male V. Then it came on Xbox Series X with the female V, and I've taken a look at the game on, you know, the Series X with the next gen update. Now we're looking at the Series S, and we're just gonna have a lot of comparison stuff. But you can definitely tell that it definitely does have. It seems like the visual elements of it are, when it's going in, you can see it like loading a lot better, if that makes sense. Like, geez, I'm trying to get like straightened up here, but when you're driving, you can see how the resolution kind of adjusts a bit and then gets clean as you sort of stop. That aspect is rather neat. But this part here kind of impressed me when I was playing this on the Series X, just because there was such a great crowd density to it. You know, you can see that there's actually like a lot of people going on. So it just makes the city feel, you know, more lively, more alert. They've got different outfits now and stuff. It's not like repetitive NPCs. They're actually living their lives. It seems like it wouldn't be a big deal, but it honestly is just a really nice touch to this one. And it just makes it feel so much more alive and look so much better and play so much better. And to me, that is quite exciting. I think this is a really good way that you can jump in and actually enjoy the thrills and the craziness of Cyberpunk. So, you know, it's got a lot of main story content that you can work through. You know, the main story is pretty lengthy, at least 20-something hours. And then you've got different side gigs, side missions, little battles you can do. Like, there is a lot to this game. It really is genuinely quite impressive. And I always like to go to the Sunset Motel. Again, we'll show off the loading, but for a little bit of a further distance. And you can tell everything is just... is much more impressive, and I think that is, it's just better, right? Like, this is a game I absolutely love the concept of, I love the game of it, what it is, and it just, you know, for a lot of people, like, I can see, you know, you come from last gen console, you find it disappointing, but now
I don't know you.
it's much better. I am really happy from this, right? Like, now maybe people will be like, oh wow, this game actually is pretty good. It's great. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can do in it. You know, with the apartments, different vehicles you can grab, great characters you can interact with. There's a lot to like about this game, you know? And maybe see the potential that I did when it first came out, see the enjoyment and whatnot as well. And I think that is the coolest part, is finally people are going to be like, oh, I get Cyberpunk now, and I'll be like, yes. That is an exciting part for me. And you know, I think like the characters and the work and everything like that, they're fantastic in this game. Almost quite underappreciated, some might say as well, just in regards to some of the performances and whatnot. So it is nice that hopefully people are coming in and being like, oh, okay, I see what others could see about this, and now it's actually delivering. What is going on there? That bike looks like it's floating in the air. I guess that's just the delivery method. Hello there, bike. Nice of you to meet me. So yeah, lots of crazy things to do, lots of customization to have, adventures to enjoy. I think there will be many crazy moments that you can have if you're jumping into this the first time. If you are revisiting this game, there will be crazy memories for you to, you know, kind of dive into and to have, and I'm sure you will have a remarkable journey with one that I can confidently, you know, suggest. Just keep in mind, you know, frame rate wise, 30 FPS is not ideal, but you know, this is a lot closer to, or well, it is the idea and the concept that I'm sure the developers initially had in mind for it, and I look forward to them doing new things with this game, hopefully adding, you know, all kinds of new content, like actual DLC expansions like we were supposed to get a long time ago. Seeing that finally come out, seeing them work and go forward on this game now, instead of having to look back and fix all these problems with it. Now we've got that good basis here. I do hope that they also work on providing, again, like we can have some serious like resolution drops. I'm all in favor of that, for getting this one to also run at 60. I think would be kind of an ideal scenario. But for now, I am happy with the game. I think they've done a great job with it. I think this is a phenomenal experience that now is properly something that people can dive into and see what it has to offer. And the thrills of Night City, from the intense music to the crazy moments to the weird characters, the wild hijinks, the unsettling scenes that happen, the intense maturity, the excitement of the world. There is so much potential for adventures that you can have, and I am looking forward to hopefully hearing from other people that they are, you know, enjoying the game now. They are finding that value. They are seeing things in a new light and enjoying the action and whatnot. Just kind of, again, driving to the city is so cool here because it's like such a big place. It feels expansive. It feels like exciting, and you get to see these like huge, you know, almost augmented things that you would expect from like a cyberpunk world, right? Like that's exactly what I would have anticipated. You know, thinking about this game initially was just the crazy futuristic stuff of this dystopian nightmare that you're kind of finding yourself in, dealing with, and, you know, adventuring within and battling. And that's just the coolest thing for me is, hey, it's actually pretty good going now. What is this? I guess we grabbed all of that. Is that it? Do I have to fight these guys? I don't know if I have to fight them. Hello there? Yeah, okay, no, these are bad guys. I thought these were like police guys.